Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm the audiologist here at Audiology Associates. We upload new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM UK time, so please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal video today. So we've got one patient in this video. You can see that the wax here, it looks very hardened up. It's very dry and dark in colour. So we're just going to use the standard size Zollner tube to start to remove this. What we're doing first of all is looking for, you can see the front end is quite angular. We're actually looking to try and get a grip on this, but you can see just how hard this wax is. So I'm trying to look and see if we can use the suction tube and just the edge of the tube just to lift from the base of the canal here. So try and detach this block so it looks like it's sitting in one piece. Just broke a little bit away there into the suction tube, so we have to clear that away. So you can see trying to lift from the bottom here. There you go, just trying our best to try and detach this here. Not really budging at all. Slight gap at the top of that wax there. So I'm just going to try with a crocodile forceps because it is quite tough. We may be able to get a grip on this without it just pulling through, but you can see what we have here is a very hardened up outer layer of wax surrounding a softer section. So the crocodile forceps is just basically just pulling through the center of it. But because the outer section is so tough, the suction tube just can't get a grip on it. So we're going to bring out the old Jobson horn now. We're going to work its way down the left side of this wax, detaching that from the canal wall. So if we can try and lift it, you can see kind of going at a bit of an angle, just twisting to try and push it off the canal wall from the left side there. Now it's starting to lift. So we've managed to get a bit of a lift to the edge. So we're going to use the crocodile forceps again now, see if we can get a grip on this bottom section. But you can see it's not really getting the grip we need there. It's more kind of just shearing off this smaller front end there. Now we can get behind it though. We're going to try and see if we can get a grip on the next section, because we can see it's mobile, so we know it's moving, but it's just trying to hold on to it tight enough without it pushing through and just taking a chunk off the end, which is what's happened. Because we've broken that front end off now though, we have got a flatter surface to work with. So I'm just going to use the suction tube now just to try and move it in position, and then we'll go into the gap at the top of the Jobson and pull down. But you can see that's not actually too big a gap. The wax is also pushing up into the top portion of the canal, so we haven't got a great deal of room to get the Jobson in, and because of the hardness of the wax it's difficult to get behind. So I'm just repositioning so I can get into a top section. You can see a little gap there, pulling down. You can see we've broken through that softer core of the wax there. Over again, trying to lift and pull it down. There we go. Now we're through. Okay, so now we've got a bigger chunk coming through there. Just do a little bit of tidying up. Obviously when you use the Jobson horn, it pulls through this softer material. It kind of compresses it against the canal wall. So I'm just using the standard size Zollner tube now just to maneuver it and detach another section there, clear up a little bit after using that Jobson. You can see we're starting to create a gap now at the top. Just seeing if I can roll the wax using the suction tube. It's not rolling particularly well, so just going to see if we can detach from the bottom. It's not really detaching very well. We've got the gap there. So going to use the St. Bart's hook now just to get behind. See if we can get behind this bit of wax. But you can see this top section is so soft. That's all the St. Bart's hook is doing at the moment, is just spreading it down, unfortunately. I'll try again, see if we can get behind that top section. It's all about the angles you've got to work with as well, you see, in the ear canal, because sometimes if you haven't got the correct angle to be able to get, when you're using the St. Bart's hook, obviously you've got to try and get behind that section. But if the outer part of the ear canal, if it's bending up too high, it's difficult sometimes to get it over that last section to get behind and twist and bring it forwards. So I've gone back to the Zollner tube now just to tidy up a little bit more, see if we can get a bit of detachment to this of the wax from the canal wall. Back in with the Jobson horn again now, aiming for that gap at the top. Slightly easier to get it there, just taking, you can see we're struggling to get to that back section of wax there. It's just dropping just in front of it. So there we are. Now we're starting to get a bit of movement to that back end of wax. Obviously with the Jobson horn and St. Bart's hook, what we've managed to do is break off a front section of this wax, which gives us a little bit more maneuverability in this ear canal, because you can see based on the canal wall there to the left hand side that is quite narrow at this point. It's like a pinch point in the canal. There we are, just getting a grip, wiggling and rocking it forwards, then looking for that part of the wax that'll give us that good grip and help us to adhere to it. You can see the small gap there, we're aiming for that. We've brought this forwards now, it's going to be easier to get behind it with the Jobson horn. There, managed to get behind now so we can bring this section forwards. But you can see it's just kind of spreading and crumbling as it comes out of the canal. So we'll do a bit more tidying up now. Sometimes it's good to switch between tools because you may not be using the suction really to take the wax out. What you're mostly doing with the suction at the moment is repositioning the wax, detaching it from the canal walls to make it easier to go in with another tool. We're starting to get a nice bit of movement now though to this wax. You can see it's starting to, there we go, it's starting to rock forwards. We've got a slightly softer version of wax behind it there, so we should be able to get a good grip on that now. Oh, it's just broken away, so we've got a gap. We're going to aim for the gap, roll it down, aim behind again, not too deep because we don't want to go in too far. You can see the wax goes quite deep. Managed to get behind the back section of wax there. It's starting to roll down. It's just taking that top piece away. There's a bit in the outer section there. We'll just grab that with the suction if we can. There we go. See if we can lift this last piece out of the canal. There we go. And a little bit further in there, so we're going to need to grab that. Just peeling away from the canal walls. You can see the dryness to the canal walls, which is why you can see a piece there actually stuck to the eardrum as well. The dryness to the canal walls is why the outer section of wax was so hard. The outer section really dried up, but obviously the central section stayed quite soft. So we've got the fine end on here now. We're going to work very, very slowly down. This is actually stuck to the eardrum, so we've got to be very careful. And it's awkward because it's right in a corner, so you're working between a very sensitive eardrum and a very sensitive canal wall. So you've got to be really careful. Try and aim for the middle of both if you can. Just going to go in a little bit further, go in a bit further with the camera. There we are. See a little bit of movement to it. We can get a grip on the top section there. We're starting to peel. There we are. You can see it coming away from the eardrum. It's very slow work, just trying to get that away. Being very gentle, consistent and steady with the pressure. You see it's starting to peel away. So we're going to pop a little bit of olive oil in here now just to help to loosen this off. Now we could see the top section was still firmly attached, so what I'm going to aim for is the bottom section, because there is a bit of movement to the whole piece when you get on the bottom section. There. Can you see the whole thing just moved, which means it's detached now from the top. I think if I can get hold of, there we go. Now it's starting to peel away. There we are. So we managed to get that away there. You can see some patches of oil in here where the wax has gone quite deep. A little bit of kind of sluffy dead skin there to the bottom right hand side, so we'll just nip over that with some suction. Here we are. So rather than sort of dig into it from the front, I'm aiming to kind of go past it and aim to bring it down across the top. Watch now, like that. The reason being is with this sluffy skin, if you're kind of pushing into it from the front, you run the risk of digging into the canal wall, which can cause a bit of bleeding. So what I'm aiming to do is kind of go over the top and then bring the suction tube over the top of it. So what will happen is effectively that you're using the flat side of the suction tube to go over the top and then suck into it from there. So there we are. You can see all the dry bits we took away. That's 4.5 centimeters, just over 1.5 inches. Thank you very much for watching our video today. If you did enjoy the video, then please like. If you're not subscribed already and you'd like to do so, you can click the subscribe button here. If you'd like to check out some more of our videos, they're also up there. Now, if you want to follow us, you can do on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also check our website if you want to know a little bit more about us. And as always, guys, until the next time, take care.